All right. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our team call. The wagon, we is back on it. That is so true. It's been a hot minute since we've done some team calls, but I know, and hopefully you will, by the end of this call, have some big goals that you want to reach towards for this year. I mean, you can't beat the novelty of a brand new spanking year and the ability to kind of set the tone early on and keep the momentum going. Because if you are anything like me or like any other person, once momentum leaves, it's so hard to get it back. And especially if you're a newer coach listening to this call, momentum is on your side. Like if you can stay motivated, if you can stay in it, then you don't have to get back on this wagon. But for those of you that are watching, maybe the recording, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this coaching thing. I don't know if it's for me. Then please, this presentation is for you. And for those of you that have been killing it, this presentation is for you. So there's a lot of text on this, right? Oh my gosh, hi, let me fill you in what's going on. So we were talking about Super Saturday. It's our quarterly event. So first and foremost, I want you to write this date down, April 2nd. Like there should be no excuse on why you can't make the next one. It's so freaking important. Even though I don't know, I went to a brand new one because, I hadn't been to one in California yet. And though I'm probably going to fly back to the Pacific Northwest, I'm not going to lie. I think that's something I'm going to do. But it's so important to get to one of these events because you're able to see the culture. You're able to, network and connect with other coaches in your area. You get to learn about transformation stories. I mean, of course, all the product knowledge is great. But I think, for most areas, if you go to a bigger event, that like a certain city, they normally have like a market council that puts on a big Super Saturday. They will have like top coaches in the company, elite coaches, premier coaches that want to share their knowledge with you. And it's pretty, invaluable to be able to be a part of that. So I'm just going to kind of breeze through these because these are things that I feel like you should already know, but this is kind of the gist of Super Saturday. So number one, if you didn't know, now you know, Cafe Latte came out today. I got to try it at my Super Saturday. It was the bomb.com. I loved it. They had actually two samples. They had one with water and one with almond milk. I will say the one with water, if you just blend it with ice and water, you can really taste the coffee flavor. It's not too overwhelming. It's not like black coffee, like sour-ish, and it's not too over the top sweet. It's just a really nice in between. I've heard a lot of people who don't normally drink coffee are really enjoying the flavor. So just so you know, it's not like it's jam-packed with like espresso shots or anything. It doesn't have any more caffeine than the other flavors that we offer. It's like green tea extract or whatever. But yeah, so the one with water tastes really great. The one when you blend it with almond milk, it tastes really frothy. It kind of reminds me of like a vanilla latte if you've ever had those. It's very subtle, so it doesn't have a overwhelming flavor. I guess it probably depends on the type of almond milk you use as well, if you use sweetened or unsweetened. But I'm like super jazzed. Like I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy it through my husband's business center because I was like, I want to be able to have like a whole bag to myself and then have a bag to give out as samples if I want to. Next thing that they talked about was becoming a 365er, and that is I guess this year 366er is for those of us that drink Shakeology every day. You get it on Home Direct every month. You will, starting next month, if you've been on Home Direct for the last 12 months, or if you're just starting it now, make sure you stay on it all year because at the end of 12 months, the system automatically is going to send you out a specialized shaker cup that says 365er to symbolize that you're committed to your nutrition every single day, and they will give you, I'm sorry, this is my favorite part of giving you the golden scoop. So it's like your scooper, but it's golden. Everything's better when it's golden, right? So Omega-3 65er. The next thing they talked about was Summit. So in case you're not on the wait list for Summit, I highly recommend it because you can get on the wait list now, and when a spot opens up, and then you can kind of figure out if you're going to go or not. But I think it's beneficial to sign up for it now. It's in July. It's in Nashville. It's where all of the Beachbody coaches nationwide come together. Jamie went last year and had a phenomenal time. I went the year before in Vegas. It's just, it's so life-changing. That's all I'll say about it, is that if you're serious about your business, or you have any inkling that this might be something that you think you can do really good at, or that is tugging at your heartstrings, just get on the wait list and then just see what happens. But we have a theme every single year. Last year was Everyone Matters. This year it's Stronger Every Day. So just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Stronger Every Day is the theme for 2016. I love that they talk about every day, but we'll move on. Next thing they talked about, Energize and Hydrate from the Beachbody Performance line, is they're starting on the 25th. They're going to be selling 10 packs of each of those. So, because the only way you could get a sample of it is through the sampler pack. And so people have asked for it, and they have provided it. So starting on the 25th, you can order that. Beachbody On-Demand downloads. This is what PS4 already does, Apple TV, those places. Those things, they're not places. But starting soon, I don't know exactly the date, but you'll be able to purchase T25 size and Body Beast to start off with. They're in beta testing, so they want to make sure that this everything goes smooth. So those 3 are available. Advanced or regular workouts you can offer to your customers, or even for your own personal library, as long as they are a Beachbody Club member and they have access to Beachbody On Demand. Then they can get discounted programs right then and there. You'll have access to all the digital downloads. Really, really cool stuff. This is the thing that I could tell. I was watching it with my mom. We were watching the promo when we were there, and I just poked her and I was like, Jamie, this is Jamie's program. And I'm excited because I am going to do this program for sure. And I told my husband about it, and because I tried to almost get him to do a hammer and chisel today, and we watched the chisel cardio, and he was like, I don't want to dance. That's too complicated. I was like, they're not dancing, you jackass. But anyways, 22-minute hard corpse is a military-inspired Tony Horton P90X guru, his workout. So it's 22 minutes. It's basic boot camp, but on crack. And we saw little clips of it. So you can go on YouTube and type that up, and you can probably see the promo reel, or go in your back office and look at it. But it looks intense. It looks legit. In 22 minutes, y'all, it's a game changer. The next thing they talked about was the Success Club trip for 2017. It's in Punta Cana. I keep trying to say it. I'm like, Punta Cana. It's the Dominican Republic. And the registration for that opens on the 19th. The thing with that I think might deter some people away, but I think that it's still really important to bring up, is that, so if you sign up and register, you have to put down a $300 non-refundable deposit. I mean, depending on what option you choose. And every quarter you have to, your Success Club points equal Success Club trip dollars. And so each quarter they either go, okay, cool, you've paid for your quarterly rate, or or you're going to have to pay a little bit of money to secure your room. So anyways, I won't go too far deep into that, but it's something that you should look up, and it's something that is a big incentive. And I wish one of us were going on the trip this year to, where are they even going this year? Haiti and Jamaica? Is that where they're going? I don't know.
I just have to kneecap 4,000 people to get on the trip.
Which one?
I'm on the wait list.
Oh,
4,000.
Oh my God, right? I know. I'm 4,000 something too. But yeah, it's such a cool thing. And I think it's something that you should recognize, because 2017, I hate to break it to you, is going to happen. like when you blink your eyes, because I can't believe it's already 2016. So definitely a big incentive. Next month is Team Cup. Oh my gosh, like last year's Team Cup holds a very special place in my heart. It's why we have a majority of the coaches on our team. And it's just a really fun thing that I think you should be aware of. But to kind of break it down in the basics is that you end up forming a team of 5 coaches, and you guys worked closely together to earn cool prizes, and help a lot of people and give that like big boost and incentive for the special leap year month, right? Is February the leap year month, or am I just dumb? Please say it is.
It is. It is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
February is the leap year month. So we get more days in February. Yay. And then last but not least, if you hit Success Club, if you help 3 people this month, you will earn double dollars for your Success Club trip in 2017. And you'll also earn a free call next month with one of my favorite books ever. I read this book around this time last year when I told you, I mean, if you guys have been on my team or if you know my story a little bit, I said around this time last year, I sat in the shower, remember it clear as day, praying and asking if coaching was the thing that I was supposed to be doing, you know, I need the door open so wide. And part of the reason why I started doing that was because I read this book by Jen Sincero called You Are a Badass. And the rest is history. So she's going to be doing an exclusive call for the Team Beachbody coaches, which is just invaluable. Like, even if you don't get on well, I'm not even going to say that. You need to get on the call. Like, you got to be on that call. And then also, of course, I'm going to think of some cool things to give you if you hit Success Club. I just discovered Lush Cosmetics and bath bombs. And I kind of want to turn everybody on to bath bombs. But anyways, last but not least, we get to welcome some new coaches to our team. We have Heather, Carrie, Cassie, and Juanita. Cassie and Juanita just signed up today. And then, of course, we have the Set It Off Legacy coaches that have signed. We have Brianne, Chris, Sarah, and Candace. And if you're like, what the heck is Set It Off Legacy? That just means that, you know, they're like my coaches. You know, we all keep it in the family. We're a big, happy coaching family. And so I'm excited that we have some new additions to start off and kick off the year. So yay, right? Give it up for the new coaches. Hi. Okay. All right. It's time to get busy. It's time to talk about it. So the topic of the night, getting back on the saddle, getting back on the wagon, back on your grind, or simply starting it. Starting to, like, it's your first time on the wagon or it's your first time on the saddle. Either way, you know, before the biggest thing that I want to talk about before we talk about the how is we need to know your why. And if it's something where you feel, because I know this and I've experienced this, because in case you didn't know, I've been a coach since 2009, and I've had these experiences where I like thought I was going to try to work my business and then I didn't. I did that like multiple times. Like, I'd show up for 3 months and then I'd be gone for 2 years, and then I'd show up for 6 months and then I'd be gone. And even back when I decided to really work on my business back in 2014, I got really committed and I had a fire burning why. And that's why, like, I mean, I don't care. Like, I will crawl on my hands and knees until I get to my goal. and the thing that's kept me going is definitely my why. And your why changes in the different seasons of your life and as you grow with this business. For some of us, I mean, for me, my big why was because, you know, I wanted to have freedom of my time. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to provide a good life for me and Nick, and for me to be able to pursue the things that really speak to my heart, and to be able to travel and, you know, and fulfill a deeper sense of purpose rather than just going to work, you know, because I'm sure, you know, anyways. So that's something that I highly encourage. If you need help discovering your why, you know, no one can help you if we don't know that you need some help, right? But if you need a call with your upline, if you need a call with me, if I'm your upline, whatever the case may be, I mean, it's really worth spending like 10 or 15 minutes with a piece of paper and a pen and really like starting to goal set and think about your life. What do you want your life to look like in the next year? The next 5 years, the next 10 years, like to really think deeply and to not think in the way of like, oh, let's be realistic with our goals. Like, let's not get crazy here. Like, I want you to get cuckoo crazy. Like, I want you to pretend like you won that 1.3 billion lottery that's going on right now. That is ridiculous, by the way. And, I want you to really dream big and, channel your inner child. And, for some of us, it might not be, I understand not everybody wants this to be like they want to leave their job and they want to be their own boss. Like, I understand that, but it might be that you have like a shit ton of debt, or like you want to be able to go on a trip with your family and not, have to put yourself in credit card debt doing that. Or, it could be so many different things. You want to get a down payment for a car. You want to put your kid through college. Like, whatever your why is, it doesn't have to look glamorous. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to get across to everybody is everybody's why looks different. And I don't want like the Miss America why. Like, I just want world peace for everybody. My why is because I want to help people. Like, of course you want to help people. But like, really, what does that mean to you? Because, it's got to be that deep fire. Like, for those of you that are mamas, like that mama why, like that hell or high water high. Why. Anyways, so I'm excited because the next things that I'm going to talk about are actually, were things that were on my mind. And it's just so funny how, I knew that this was going to be my topic. I went to my Super Saturday and we had a John Maxwell speaker. His name is Josh Coates. And he's been working with a lot of the Beachbody coaches. He's not a coach himself, so he's an outsider looking in. He's a, representation of John Maxwell, a very popular personal development business leader. And so he gave tips and tricks on our different points in our journey with this business. And it was just so perfect. So that's kind of where I'm coming from when I'm talking about certain things. And the secret to success, it's so funny because I just listened to the National Wake Up Call, and Melanie Mitro, the top coach of the year, she talked a lot about this, and I keep hearing this as a reoccurring theme lately, and it's being intentional and vowing to be here a year from now, like full throttle, like immersing yourself in the process. Because some of us were here last year, like we were coaches this time last year, but some of us may have like fallen off track or, been there for a few months and then kind of fell off. And like, we haven't been immersed in the process and been intentional every single day, 365, immersed in it. The three biggest roadblocks that Josh Coates talked about, and it's so true that either if you're an inactive coach, an active coach, or an emerald that's been emerald for a few months, or you're just kind of stuck, this is what he has heard a consensus of, and it's people lack daily motivation. They talk about confidence issues, and the biggest roadblock is just seeing that you need to make this business a priority. And I mean, isn't that the truth, right? I mean, I know a lot of the coaches that, I see so much potential in, they've lost their motivation and their confidence and belief in what they can do, and then belief in what this opportunity can help get them to for that next level. So they don't make their business a priority because, it's just a never-ending circle, right? And so when we talk about immersing yourself in the process, it means tapping into the thing that we already know. I think we all try to make this overcomplicated, and it's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's the 3 vital behaviors. And I feel like a crazy person because I hear it all the time. I'm sure if you listen to any type of Beachbody development or National Wake Up Calls, this is just a repeated theme. Like, nobody says anything that we haven't heard before. But yet, for some reason, we think we can like get around it. and to get results. And it's just so simple. You know, our 3 vital behaviors as a coach is you got to be proof the products work. And these are out of order, by the way. But you got to be proof the products work. Of course, you can't get anyone to believe in what you're sharing if you don't do your own workouts, if you don't make your healthy eating a priority, if you don't drink your Shakeology. Of course, people are they're going to see right through that, right? People can tell when you're being insincere, and you will feel insincere. And that goes back to that confidence, because how can you have confidence and speak with passion if you're not living it? Invite, invite, invite. This is the one where you're connecting with people, you're forming them, you're getting to know, people, you're adding people to your network, you're inviting people to your challenge group. This is the one I think that is the biggest hang up. And lastly, of course, personal development, or AKA, I call it happiness training. It's how you're going to stay in the game. It's how you're going to keep yourself focused. It's that daily motivation. It's that fire that's going to get you out of bed. I'm sure if you're a coach, you get asked, especially if you're somebody that you're in your workout routine and people see it and they know it and they're starting to ask you, or maybe they have been asking you, like, how do you stay motivated? Like, how do you get up every day and work out and make that a priority? And it's because of what we're telling ourselves and what we're thinking, and personal development is something that's going to help you overcome a lot of things in your own head that you're kind of putting up as your own roadblocks. So of course, these are they're so beautiful, and you can't ever hear them enough. I think, it's just something that you constantly have to be reminded of. And Josh Coates said this, it was like such a slap in the face, right? Where he's like, if you're not seeing any growth, if you're not rank advancing, if you're not hitting Success Club, if this is a struggle for you, it's because you're avoiding the plain and simple fact of inviting. And how do we avoid it? Because you can look like you're doing everything you need to do because, hey, homegirl here, I'll tell you, I'll be the first to admit it, right? We get so caught up in making YouTube videos, Periscopes, Instagrams, cool Facebook images. We make sure that, our social media is on point. We make cool little trainings, and, we just like little busy work, right? But the fact of the matter is that you can't avoid talking to people. Like, you have. This is a numbers game. I used to be a recruiter, and for a temporary staffing service, let me say that. So we were dealing with people working in warehouses. And so of course we knew that if our customer ordered 5 people to work tomorrow, we better set up 5 and have 3 backups, Same thing with, hiring people. I knew that if I set up, if I know I needed to hire maybe like 5 people, I need to set up 10 interviews, because some people are bound to not show up. Some people are not going to be a good fit. Like, you might think someone's really good and then they don't want to do it. Like, so it's definitely a numbers game. And I think this is something that all of us already know, but I'm bringing it to the forefront that this is what the man said. He said, it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more bold and brazen you get. I can attest to this. I went from, I had my big jump in springtime. I think I signed like 6 or 7 coaches. Then I went through this huge dry spell. And then just now I signed 4 more coaches. And it's because I was avoiding doing my invites. I was avoiding like being bold and brazen and just being like, yo, do you want what I have? Like, I think this can really benefit you. And that's just, I'm telling you from my personal experience. I'm sure those of us that are on this coaching team have their own experiences with this. But get real with yourself. You have to do your invites. If you want to see growth, you've got to do your invites. And so, oh my gosh, hi. Oh, I have to upgrade soon. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to, hey, can I upgrade right now? Hold on, can you guys hold on for a second? Are you cool? Do you want to unmute yourself? I'm gonna upgrade.
So hey, they have that, code, I think, for us. Jen, did you hear that?
Huh?
I think there's a code. I think there's a discount code for us.
Is there?
Yeah, in our COO. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay. Don't steal my credit card information, everybody.
Meh.
Here, I'm gonna stop the screen share for a second. I'm like, hold on, don't steal my credit card information.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure there is.
I was subscribed to it, and then I just let it lapse. Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's like a 10 or 15% discount. I mean, any discount's good.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Come on, FHQ.
California. Where would I even put the discount in? I don't even see it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Shoot, that's not it. They don't have a. I know I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, maybe they're. I know. I feel like right after I signed up last year, I saw the discount.
It's all good. I'll figure it out later. I just upgraded it, so.
Okay.
Cause I got some.
I'll post it in our page if I find it.
Sounds good. Hey, Kristen, I see you. Hi. Okay. All right. I'm going back to screen share. Hold on. Okay. I was on a roll. All right. Okay. Back to it. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Back to it. So we were talking about invites, plain and simple. My next slide, inviting, how to do it. There's those of you that know how to do this, but I feel like it's still always good information to hear. And there's some of you that you're newer, and so you have no idea how to invite. And so this is going to be a learning process. But this is kind of like the nitty gritty on it that are easy steps that you can take. So it's suggested that you pick 2 dates per month, or maybe just 1 date per month for your challenge groups. These could be, I mean, this is up to you. You definitely should have one where it's a fitness program and Shakeology, so there's incentive to do a challenge pack. You can also run another one where you're just like, it's a freebie, you can have anybody in it. I mean, it's up to you. This is your business. You get to decide what type of challenge group you want to have. I would just say stay wary of being like the catch-all for everybody, because this is a business, right? And so, you know, you don't go somewhere and they're like, hey, you can just have everything for free here. Like, it's cool. Just have everything for free. Like, you can't, like, I mean, eventually, if you go into a Starbucks and you have a coffee bean cup and you're like, I hate Starbucks, I won't buy anything from you, but I'm going to sit here and steal your Wi-Fi for like every day, all day. You know, it's that same mentality. So hold yourself to a higher standard. You are valuable. The information that you have and the support and the motivation and the things that you bring to the table are extremely valuable. And I don't know why this happens with health and fitness, but for some reason we think we have to give it away for free. And it's not the truth. So next, set a goal of how many people you want to talk to per day that's non-Beachbody related. I would say a good number to start with is 2 or 3. If you're feeling saucy, pick 5. But these are people that could have liked a post that you recently did, somebody that you knew from an old job or your current job or school or whatever, like an acquaintance of an acquaintance, or, you know, it's just rehashing old relationships. And excuse me. And and just getting out there, because you can't invite anybody to your challenge group if you don't have some type of rapport or trust with that person. Because I'm sure if you're like me, you get messages and added to freaking nail groups or makeup groups or whatever, or people that want me to like buy into another, MLM, and it's just like it's just like it doesn't feel good. So do it right, get to know people, build that trust, ask them about their family, ask them about how their work's going, ask them about what they've been doing for fun, and then naturally the conversation is going to go back and forth. And of course, if they're not an a-hole, they're going to ask you about your life, and you can tell them, like, oh yeah, it's been really cool. I've been getting back into working out and feeling really good about myself. I've been eating better. It's just really helped with my work, with school, with whatever. And so then when you get to a point, be like, listen, and this is what I'm saying. This is the next part, but follow your scripts. The 5-step invitation process is money. It's cash money. I remember when I was first starting coaching, and even last year around this time when I stopped trying to dance around the fact that I had to invite people, I'd get on the phone with people. I mean, now I don't do that nowadays, but like when I hit Success Club, 35 or something like that, last Team Cup in like February 2015, I got on the phone with people, and I had a script. I had stuff that I was going to talk about, and there were certain questions that I asked every single person. I wasn't just winging it. Like, I had a system, and that is going to be your keys to success. And I hope if you're a newer coach too, that this makes you feel a hell of a lot better, because you don't have to come up with this stuff on your own. You don't have to think about it. You can just duplicate. You can take the things that we know that works and just use them. So utilize those questionnaires. They have 2 questionnaires in the back office, and I will post them on our team page, but there's like a health questionnaire, and then there's a getting to know your prospect questionnaire. And then there's of course a few questions in that 5-step invitation. It's step 2 where, you ask someone. So step 1 is like, hey, I don't know if this would be for you or not, but I'm going to be starting a fitness challenge group. Would that be something that you'd be interested in? And if they say, yeah, normally, what do people normally say? They say, yeah, how much? And you go, great, I'm glad you asked that. It really depends what you're looking for. So would you mind if I ask you a few questions to kind of get a better idea of what would be a good fit? Like, ta-da! Totally like danced around it, like you matrix the money question, and that'll give you a chance to really dig into step 2, which you should be spending so much time in, is just asking. People want they want to tell you the things that they don't even know, that they like subconsciously are holding back. Oh yeah, hey, just a quick request. If you join the Zoom, can you mute yourself? Because I can hear something in the background and I'm going to get distracted. But anyway, so utilize the questionnaires, utilize this 5-step invitation. And this is like in all bold. For the love of God, I'm telling you from personal experience, track your contacts. I will show you what I've been using. I kind of made something up on my own. So if you want to, use something like that, or I can give you a template, I'd love to do that. Jamie is like my homegirl. She is like my organized brain. So she's got some good systems that she follows. You can just use a freaking notebook. But definitely please like track who you're talking to, because it will get lost. And this is what I will tell you about your life. And it's why certain people on our team always hit Success Club or see success, is because it's the beauty of the follow-up. I guarantee you, if you're a coach of mine, or any coach on this team in the Set It Off legacy, you probably didn't say yes the first time. It was probably someone that kept checking in on you every so often, whether it was the challenge group, the coaching opportunity, whatever. Most people don't say yes. Most people, especially some people, are like, yeah, maybe, and then, oh my gosh, that time where you wait until they actually purchase, because I will say that I don't get my hopes up. If someone's like, yeah, I want to do it, I do not believe it until I see that in my back office with some Success Club points or an order go through, because it's very interesting. People will say yes and then they'll forget about it, or, they won't tell you the whole story. So the secret is in the follow-up. Even if someone says no just means no, not right now. It's just like when the waitress comes by with a cup of coffee and offers you a cup of coffee and you say, no, I'm good. And then if you know how it is, like they offer you something, you say no. And then, like 10, 15 minutes later, you're like, you know what? I think I do need a refill, or, yeah, I need some type of condiment. You just never know what people need. So don't ever assume, and stop overcomplicating this step. Okay, moving on. So here's the next one that Josh Coates talked about. He goes, what if I'm already in the saddle? What if I'm already diamond? What if I'm feeling good? What if I make this business a priority? And for those of you that are not there yet, you soon will be. It's just a matter of time. It's the compound effect. If you plug into this business every single day and you do your 3 vital behaviors every single day, you will inevitably get to this next point. When you reach diamond, it's like, oh my gosh, Jamie and Crystal and me, we can all tell you that like pushing for diamond is like, it is the craziest experience ever, like you push so freaking hard and then you fall in and out of diamond, and it's like until you get like even for me now, it's like I could fall at a diamond any second, depending on a couple circumstances, and it's just, you work so hard to get to this certain level. And so, he asked us, and when we were listening to his speech, that he was like, are you comfortable? Are you hanging out? Like, are you good? Or do you have the same problems that you've had for like several months? Or do you have new problems? Because new problems mean growth. The same problems mean you're stagnant, and something's got to change, right? So he says when you're at this point where you're doing your 3 vital behaviors, you're plugging along, but you're really not seeing any growth, or maybe you've kind of lost your pizzazz. He was like, you guys need to recruit more. And it was like, when I was sitting there listening to it, I was like, slap in the face. And so he was like, you have to recruit more. The same things that you do to recruit for your challenge groups, you've got to be doing that for coaches. And I think it's important for those of you that are newer coaches, or, you're an emerald or whatever, that this is very, very important. So people that I would love for you, that if you're not already following them and you don't already know them, follow Crystal, follow Jamie. They know how to get coaches. And this is the reason why, is because people don't know sometimes that they can do what you do. I am so guilty of this, that I am so like fixated on sharing my journey, and I'm a fitness instructor and I'm a master trainer and this is what I do. The people go, oh, that's just a Jen thing, like same thing with Jamie. It's like, oh, that's just a Jamie thing. Like, oh, she just works out. Like that's her thing, like unless you open up the doors and you tell people, hey, you can, like, I'm doing this, and guess what? You can do it too. And so Josh offered this amazing advice where he was like, talk more about what Beachbody has done for you. So paint a picture. Like when you are recruiting for your challenge groups, when you're recruiting for coaches, paint a picture of what your life was like before you found Beachbody. Like, what has Beachbody done for you? Like, what type of person were you before, And the biggest thing he said that really, really hit home for me definitely was like, he's like, stop undermining your own success when you're looking at others' success. So like for me, I don't talk a lot about what the coaching opportunity has done for me, because I'm like, well, I'm not earning $1,000 a week, or I'm not an elite coach, or, I'm not a star diamond coach. Like, I don't feel like I'm enough. And so therefore I don't talk about the coaching opportunity that often. And he was like, you have a story, like your story is going to resonate with somebody, what, like, everyone could, you know, like you could talk about like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. I made an extra $100 this month. So I was able to do X, Y, and Z. Or I know Jamie talks about like her Beachbody money pays for her kids' tuition. And like Crystal talked about, like during like Christmas time, she talked about like paying for her kids' presents in cash, you know, like it doesn't have to be that extreme for you to share. And you can, and this is the thing too, newer coaches, is that you can even share like what you're hopeful the opportunity will do for you. You know, like you can say what Beachbody's done for you so far, or, you know, you can paint a picture and help others start to dream because you're dreaming, you know, and let others' success be your motivator, not your deterrent. And I'm so guilty of this, right? You're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could, you know, I can do this like that person, or, you know, my biggest goal this year is to show everybody on our team what's possible. I mean, I feel like, you know, I'm already in it. Like I'm already like y'all, like my husband keeps let's just be real for a second. My husband keeps trying to get me to get like a real job. He's like, we were at like this Mexican restaurant today, and he's like, cause the phone was ringing and I pretended to be you know, like you hear a phone ringing, and I was like, thank you for calling Pepe's. How may I help you today? And he was like, oh, look, you're so natural at it. I'm like, yeah, because I worked in an office and I had to answer a phone every day of my life. But, you know, he was like, oh, maybe you should work here. And I'm like, child, like I'm almost making as much as I was making at my old job. So, you know, definitely I think I undermine my own success. And so I hope that you aren't doing that. But if you are, be proud of where you're at. You know, I'm like not where I want to be by any means, but I'm getting there. And I want to, this is something that I'm going to work on too, is sharing more about what Beachbody has done for me and how it's changed my life so far. New problem. Okay. So you might get to this point that, you know what, you get it. You've drank the Kool-Aid, you are in this. Like you love Beachbody, you want to go all the way with coaching, you're ready to take it to the next level, you're all in. But nobody else is. And I'm laughing because I'm sure, you know, I've been there, and I know some other people have been there as well. You might be there right now. But you know, the shift, the mindset shift that we need to be having is mentoring. And, you know, and this can even apply, y'all, like it doesn't even have to apply to like, you know, you signing coaches. This can apply to your challengers. And believe me, everything that I'm telling you, I'm taking it in and I'm absorbing, and I want to put this into action. But he said, you know, mentoring is taking those by the hand and walking them to the place they said they wanted to go, you know? So whether this is a challenge group or whether this is coaching, you know, what do they want out of their life? What do they want? What are their goals? What do they want from their business? What do they want from this experience? And not projecting what you want for them, but really listening and absorbing and knowing what they want. He gave this example, you know, specifically to coaches, and he was like, you know, you can't call yourself a mentor if someone goes, they message you out of the blue and they go, and this hit really like hard on me. So I'm just going to, you know, tell the example, but, he was like, yeah, you know, your coaches can message you and be like, man, I really suck at coaching. I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just boop, give them an answer. And then that's it. And then you don't talk to them. And then you're like, oh, whatever, this coach doesn't care anymore. Or like, you know, or they'll come again and like 6 months later and be like, oh, I really suck at this, but I want to do this. I just don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. You can give them an answer and then you don't talk to them again. Being a mentor means that you push them. It's no different than when we run our challenge groups that it should be for our coaching. And this is something that, like I said, I'm not saying it like, yeah, this is what I do right now. This is something that I am aspiring to do as well. You know, where we're running accountability groups for our coaches to stay accountable to talking to 3 people a day, to sending out their invites, to hitting Emerald, to hitting Success Club, you know, like to have that accountability. And he left us off with that: a mentor or coach makes us do the things we wouldn't do on our own. We need someone to push us. We need someone, and for order for someone to push us, we have to get to that point where, the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same. And that's why people come to us to join our groups, is because the pain of staying overweight, not having any energy, being depressed, not fitting into their clothes, whatever someone's why is when they join your group or when they join us as a coach, where they're unhappy in their job, they want to be able, they're pissed off that they're broke all the time. They want to do bigger things with their life. They don't feel fulfilled. They have everything that they should have, but they don't feel fulfilled. It's that pain of staying the same, like the change is scary. Change is uncomfortable. Change sucks. This sucks sometimes, y'all. Like, can we just keep it real? That this is not easy. Coaching is not easy. Is it worth it though? Is it worth those days that, you put all your heart and soul into it, you talk to someone and then they don't buy a challenge pack, or you have a coach that quits coaching, all of those heartaches, like I say, the worst day as a coach for me is better than the best day in my old life, where, I went to work every day. And even though I got praised and I loved that job and I was really well respected, it just, that gnawing feeling in your gut, when you're just like, oh, something's missing. When someone asks you, hey, how are you doing? And you're like, I'm good. And then there's like a ... like the next part of the sentence that you just keep buried inside yourself, but just to remember that, to put that in the forefront of our minds, the mentor or coach makes us do the things that we wouldn't do on our own. So that was definitely a big, big, big learning lesson that I learned at that Super Sunday for me personally. And for those of you, that I've let down, I'm so sorry. I know I'm like always I'm like so hard on myself as a coach, but that's the beautiful thing, is that we can always reset and refocus and refresh and come back stronger and better, and never give up. So this is my last slide. My final thoughts is to be intentional with your time, be intentional with your business, be intentional with your actions, be intentional with your time on earth. This goes back to thinking about your why. If you're already scrolling Facebook, if you're already on social media, like, make it worth your time. Be intentional. Do things that are gonna propel you forward. Don't be like the 95% of people, that give up on their hopes and dreams. Be that 5%. Be that person that, you have a vision, where you're going. The book that I've been reading, and this is one that I recommend if you haven't read it in a while, is The Slight Edge. Like, Slight Edge is bae right now. I cannot get enough of it. And the things that you're doing every single day are either moving you closer to your goals and your hopes and your wishes and your aspirations, or they're working against you. And finding your why, your fire, the reason for the season, is like your internal gyroscope, that will keep you going in the right direction, even when everything feels like you're not on track. I read a part in that book today. He was talking about the Apollo spaceship, and that for 2 or 3% of the time, the Apollo spaceship was on track for the course to hit the moon. So that means, like, if you put it in another context, that for every 30 minutes that rocket was in flight, it was only on course for less than a minute. But guess what? They went to the moon, right? So, that's the cool part, is that if you have something inside you, if you have your vision and you know where you're going without a shadow of a doubt, you have this belief that you're like, I don't care what my circumstances look like right now. I know that I'm going to do this. Then when you get hit with all those things that life throws your way that seems like you should quit or you should give up, that's when you reset, recalculate, try something different, whatever you do, it's that, it's just not giving up. And I think the biggest thing that I can leave with you for this final, slide and this team call is just take action. Take action a day. Like they said on the National Wake Up Call, don't be a collector of information. Don't have notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks of just stuff you've read and things that you know, because it doesn't do you any good. That's why you can be the most smartest, intelligent person. But the person that's going to beat you every single time is the person that works hard every single day, right? It's the person that shows up every single day, that will work harder than you, that'll stay later, that, and I'm sure you've seen it in your actual jobs. Sometimes the people that are in management aren't necessarily the smartest people. They're just the person that shows up, and they work hard, and they never give up. So if there's something you can leave here with today with, is just take some action. Whatever you've learned in the last, however many minutes we've been in this call, or if you went to a Super Saturday or Sunday, or you watch some type of personal development, whatever you learn, put it into practice. And that's how we get better, right? You learn something, you put it into practice, you see how it goes. If you fail and you fall flat on your face, perfect. That's what we want. And then you can come back, you can learn more, you see it from a different frame of reference, and then you try again. And that's all it is. That's all this coaching thing is just doing something, trying it, seeing if it works or not, and then repeating the process. So that's what I have for y'all. That's it. That's all she wrote, with a snap and a head twirl. Anybody have any questions or anything to add?
I would say thank you for that. Thank you for that